Okay, summer is coming. Spring is almost here. So I am ready to talk about warmer weather and summertime fun. So I have got 25 ideas for you to stick to your budget and have a frugal but fun time this summer. So let's get to it. All right, now summer's almost here. As the weather gets warmer, we're all getting excited. We're thinking about maybe vacations as the kids get out of school. Now, on my blog, I'll put the link down below. I do have a budget-friendly summer bingo card that you can download if you are interested, that you could print up and that you can check off things that you've done over the summer. Hopefully, you have set aside a sinking fund or a separate budgeted account that you have been putting money into all throughout the year to have money saved up for summer if you have plans. But if you haven't, that's okay. I have some great ideas for you that you can do that are very affordable, that don't cost a lot of money, right? So let's get right into it. Let's start with outdoor. Okay, I've got my list here. We're gonna start with outdoor items. And first is to go on a picnic. I have done this many times with a blanket, with the whole picnic basket, everything. You know, you can go to a local park and just kind of sit out. Maybe you can bring some card games. We love Uno. Next is to have a beach day. Of course, if you don't have a beach within a couple hours drive time of your home, then you can try to create a beach day if you've got a local pool nearby. Or if you have a baby pool, those are very inexpensive. You could put that in your yard and you could pretend you're at the beach and play some kind of, tropical music and set the stage, set it all up. And that can be very affordable and fun, just sticking your feet inside of a baby pool. Hiking, you can explore a hiking trail. I'm sure you can find a hiking trail nearby if you look, especially if you haven't, then go ahead and check online to see what local parks are or where you might be able to hike in your area. Camp in your own backyard. This can be really fun or scary, I guess, depending on where you live. But you can also camp at local state campgrounds very inexpensively. We have done that for years. And if you've got a tent, you can pick up a tent very affordably. It doesn't have to be anything luxurious. You can even sleep in your car if you've got a minivan. Like we have slept in the back of our minivan, and we just put blankets back there, sleeping bags, put the seats down because they fold down on themselves, so you can just sleep within your vehicle. You don't even need a tent. But if you've got a nice yard, if you live in a safe area, you could definitely do camping in your backyard. You have little lights out there and everything, make it really fun. And then obviously that's nice because you can come in middle of the night if you feel like it and get back into your bed. Many cities and towns have splash pads, so that's something you could do. You could go and visit a splash pad. Just make it a day, right? Take off work and tell the kids that you're going to go and visit. Maybe you could visit multiple different ones in your area and check them all out and decide which one is best. Kind of do a review day of all the different splash pads that you can find within your area. Taking a bike ride is my favorite thing to do. I love my bike. It just is like, I don't know, freedom, I guess, when as a child, when you can ride your bike. I used to ride my bike everywhere. And just going on a simple bike ride just around your neighborhood, it is so beautiful just to coast on a bike on a nice day with the wind just blowing. Just make sure you've got your helmet ready to go, so stay safe. Geocaching. I have to admit, I have never done this, but my brother-in-law loves it, has done it many, many times. Geocaches everywhere. Have a DIY scavenger hunt. This could be fun even if you don't have kids. You and your partner could do some kind of scavenger hunt to make it fun for adult-like items. Keeping it clean here, but try some kind of scavenger hunt around your yard, your house, your town. I mean, you could set it all up. It could be so fun, like The Amazing Race. I love that show. Stargazing. We're in the Philadelphia area, but if we go up north towards Poconos, the stars are just spectacular. But definitely this is something in the summer that maybe take a peek up and see what you see. You might be surprised. Okay, and then a community event. There's a lot of movies that are shown in the summer outside at parks, concerts outside. I've gone to a ton of these. So if you don't have a car or you live in a city where those outdoor ideas are not really feasible, then what can you do at home or within your apartment? Homemade popsicles. I love my fruit bowls and my fruit smoothies, but fruit popsicles, just as good. So you just blend up some fruit. There's a ton of tutorials out there, and make yourself some fruit popsicles. A water balloon fight. They have these really cool kits now where you can purchase them, and it's like you can blow up like all of these water balloons like in a string. So if you haven't tried that out, sometimes I have not been very successful with them, but other times, yes. But water balloons can be super fun. Just make sure you clean them up and don't leave them laying around. You want to be environmentally friendly. Sidewalk art, right? Sidewalk chalk art with the huge, big, giant sidewalk chalk. Go outside if you've got a sidewalk nearby or a driveway and just spend some time outside. You're making some art with your kids. Host a backyard Olympics game. And you can get, your fellow adults involved in this with kids, but how fun to sort of have an entire, obstacle course set up outside, or whatever event you want to hold in your backyard or locally. We've done some tennis tournaments at local tennis courts with family. So just set up like your own little Olympics game. You can have awards, medals. Those are super inexpensive. You can get them at the dollar store, but that's a fun thing to do with your family over the summer. That doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Get your tarp out, some water, and a little bit of soap, and you can create your own magnificent slip and slide for your yard. A DIY slip and slide. It's even better if you have some kind of hill on your property. But you can, have a really fun slip and slide party if you have a couple tarps and you throw them around. Kids love this, even though it's kind of terrifying to me, slip and slides, but they enjoy it. Movie marathons. We in our family did a Lord of the Rings movie marathon. I can't remember whether it was Christmas week when they had off school. I think it was, but this is great for the summer also. And we did it not all in one day, but throughout, several days in a row. We would watch a different, the next movie in the series. So if there's some type of movie series that you want, or Harry Potter is another great one, where you kind of do a marathon of the series together. This can be so fun. You get your popcorn, you can put some candles out and, really set the mood. And it's great. I mean, we just had so much fun with it, all watching it together. It's one of my favorite all-time books and then movies. But Lord of the Rings. Speaking of books, you can do a summer reading challenge. You can choose to read the Lord of the Rings trilogy along with The Hobbit or Harry Potter or fiction books, but do some kind of challenge for the summer. You could just have a grid where you're kind of competing against others as far as how many books you can read. And then you can also tie it into visits to the library, and it can be really, really a good time. Homemade ice cream. This is fun. You can get these like balls, like different things that will churn ice cream, or you shake it to make the ice cream. I have failed miserably at the ice cream making, but it is something that kids like to do, and it can be fun over the summer to kind of try to create your own ice cream. You could have a themed dinner night. We, New Year's Eve, we did murder mystery with the family, with the kids. So you could have a murder mystery dinner party. These are so inexpensive. At Five Below, you can get boxes of the murder mysteries, and then you can create like the dinner to go along with the theme of whatever you have purchased. They have like carnival and all kinds of different themes for the murder mystery parties. And so you can make a meal that goes along with it. And the kids absolutely loved it. They had such a good time. You can either get dressed up or not get dressed up. But if you do this over on a summer night, how fun would that be? Especially if you could incorporate it outside. If you have some lights outside, and you could do something like the crime scene is outside. I mean, how fun is it? So, or not murder mystery, just themed dinners in general can be a really good time, especially in the summer, because you can do that indoor-outdoor eating. Or if you don't have an outdoor space, indoor is fine as well. Okay, so next is to start a small garden. And yes, I said these were things that are at home. If you have a bedroom or a space in a bedroom, or a space in your living room, you can create a little greenhouse and start your own little garden, indoor gardening. It's a thing, so you can do this pretty inexpensively. You don't even need, if you have a Tupperware container, you can poke holes in the bottom of it, and you can just pick up like an inexpensive bag of potting soil and you stick it in there, and you can even do seed starting, start things from seeds. That makes it even more affordable. And there's nothing, and you set it by a window, and there's really nothing more exciting than to see plants grow. In my opinion, it's just so exciting when you put the seeds in there, and you can cover it with just like some clear wrap and next to a window, and to see those little seeds germinating, it's just like magic. It's so exciting. But that's something to do over the summer, and then you can transplant them once they grow bigger and stronger. You could even, if you have an outside space, you could take them outside, or take them out and pot them up onto a balcony, or just pot them into bigger pots and set them in the window. Starting a little garden is definitely something that I recommend. Now, our next 5 is exploring, things that you can learn. So starting out with museums. What local museums do you have in your area or within just an hour or a few hours drive that you haven't been to? There's actually a museum near us that I have not been to yet, and I literally drive past it like every day, like almost every day when I'm out at the kids' activities and I see this, and I have not been there, and I need to go this summer. So I'm sure there probably are more museums than you realize in your area. And if you haven't gone, usually they have a very small admittance fee. So it's nice to, just travel and to be an explorer within your own town or city. You don't have to travel for that. I mean, I think so many of us actually do not explore our own hometowns as much as we should. I mean, we go out and want to travel to different places when there's really a lot to be seen within our own local areas. Go on a library adventure. My sister used to do this with the kids. She would take my kids and hers to the library, and they would do their own little scavenger hunts within the library. Libraries have lots of different things set up for the kids. So it's an untapped resource, really, is a lot of libraries. So check with them and see what kind of things that they might have created that you can participate in. Okay, next is, we kind of touched on this a little bit, but taking day trips, like we talked about the beach or the shore. But is there anywhere that you can do, anywhere you can go that's within, a few hours drive that you can go and visit and explore and then come home that night, so you don't have to pay for a hotel, because that will significantly reduce the costs if you don't have to pay for lodging. So look into the surrounding area and see if there's anywhere you can go on a day trip. Okay, so next is to try a new hobby this summer. All my kids play the violin, and I don't play anything. I don't play any musical instrument. And I really feel like I should probably try to pick up an instrument and give it a try. I'm sure the kids would let me borrow their instrument, and I really should try to learn. So maybe there's something that you want to learn. I've seen a bunch of videos on YouTube just about how to learn how to play the piano. At one time I was trying to do that, and you don't necessarily even have to have an expensive piano to do that. There are really inexpensive keyboards. Or maybe you want to learn how to crochet. Again, something I used to do all the time in college, and my roommate taught me how to do it, and I used to be on flights just crocheting away, making these enormous afghans that I gave to everybody that I knew. And then once I started having kids, I just completely stopped. And then we got a kitten and a cat, and anytime I try to pull it out, I have all these excuses. Then it's like, it just seems like there's always somebody tugging on the yarn. Either it was babies or a cat. So I keep saying, I'm going to get back into it. So maybe it's a hobby that you want to rediscover, something that you used to do 20 years ago, like me, and then now you want to get back into it. Okay, and then last, but absolutely certainly not least, is to volunteer as a family, or to get involved in some kind of volunteer work, like walk around to state parks. I know that they're suffering, they've lost some staff. So maybe you want to walk around just on your own and just pick up trash that you see laying around a state park, because there's a lot of trash. And if they don't have the employees anymore to be cleaning up, that's a problem, like for our earth and for people who are out trying to enjoy green spaces. So maybe you want to go out there and try to spend a little bit of time, just a little bit of time, picking up some trash. So anyway, there's obviously endless opportunities in different areas with different communities to volunteer and to be of help. We all want to feel useful, and maybe you feel like I used to feel this way, like I don't have any important gifts like at church. Like I don't have like I can't play any musical instruments. It feels like at church, people who can play the piano or who have a beautiful singing voice, like they are the most treasured at churches. Like they can give back and they can do things. And I was like, I can't sing and I can't play a piano and I can't, be in the bell choir because I can't read music. So then I, help with the kids. I'm good with kids. So then I can help volunteer my time for vacation Bible school over the summer, which we do. Or maybe you're like, I'm not that crafty, but someone might need you just to cut paper for the crafts, which I also have helped. I'm not crafty. Not really, but I've helped with crafts with the craft station. So you don't necessarily have to be crafty. So don't like say I can't do this or I can't do that. Maybe I could play bells. Maybe they just need a bell rung, right? So maybe there is something you could do. But if you have any other ideas of some budget-friendly ways to enjoy your summer with your kids or with your partner or with your friends, please leave them down below in the comments because it not only helps me, it helps everybody who is listening. And if you are interested in learning how to set a realistic budget for your groceries, you can go ahead and watch this video here. And if you do, I'll see you there. And if not, I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay.